Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'm glad to be able to stand and speak to Bill 14, and of course this refers to the levy. But there are many things about this bill, or about this budget, and this is just one piece of it. So, I would say, Madam Chair, that I will be taking this opportunity, and I will be taking every opportunity I can to speak to this bill and to speak to the bill to the budget in general. And I would recommend certainly to members opposite that they may want to go on a coffee run, get their slippers and get nice and comfortable, because we're going to be here for quite some time as far as I'm concerned. Now, Madam Chair, I have to say, ever since we started talking about this budget, I have done my very best. I've done my very best to be straightforward about it, and to be respectful of my former colleagues and everyone in this House. None of us are perfect, but I've certainly done my best to keep it professional and so on. But I can tell you one thing, Madam Chair, I am not going to sit in this House Assembly and hear yarns about things that happened and things that were said that are inaccurate. I'm certainly not going to do that. I can guarantee you that. And I could tell many a yarns. If I wanted to go down that road, I could tell many a yarns with many a people about how they felt about this budget, but I'm not doing it. I'm not going down that road, because I have respect for the members of this House, and I'm not attacking people personally. I'm not going down that road. But I will say this, that to suggest that I said that if we were to raise the levy to 50,000, I'd be okay with it. Really? Where did that one get dreamed up? The vast majority of my constituents make more than $50,000. This announcement did nothing, little to nothing, for many of the people I represent. Now, I'm glad there were some people that did benefit. There's people in my district that did benefit, and I'm glad they benefit. Yes, and I say to the Minister of Fisheries, make your notes. Oh, you got your big aha moment. Yeah, make your notes. Fine. There's many people in my district that did not benefit from this announcement, or they benefited very, very little. I'm glad for the people who did benefit. I'm glad it happened. I support it. I will say, though, that there was certainly no discussion that I was aware of that any of this was going to happen. I can guarantee you that. That didn't happen either. That just came out of the blue somewhere. And if there were discussions going on, it certainly wasn't shared with me, and it certainly wasn't shared with the caucus. I can guarantee you that. I'm not saying there wasn't discussions that happened at the cabinet level, but nobody knew it. And even if I had have known it, it would not have made a difference, because the vast majority of my constituents are still stuck with the levy and every other tax that we could come up with. And the cumulative effect on the people in my district is going to be devastating. And not just people in my district, but the people of all the districts. When you look at the cumulative effects of all this taxation. And I've stood in this House time and time again, and I have said, and I'm saying what the people are saying, we understand we are in a tough financial situation. Nobody is denying that. There is nobody denying it. We all know that. Everybody expected that there were going to be tough times. We expected there would be cost-cutting measures, and we expected that government would have to raise revenues. Everybody knew that. Everybody was expecting some degree of increase, but it's a matter of degrees. It's the cumulative effect on people. I mean, that is the big issue. Now, there's also issues with education and so on, which I could get into, and I will when I speak another time. One of my maybe 10 or 15 or 20 times, or however long, how many times I'm going to speak.
Oh, yeah, as many as you need.
As many as I need, absolutely. But I will say that the salient point in all this that I've heard from my constituents is the cumulative effect of all the taxation. And when the government renewal initiative took place, and when those sessions took place in different parts of the province, they were done on a regional basis. And certainly I did one as an MHA, I did one in my district. Granted, there wasn't a big crowd of people came, but the people who came, we went through the exercise. But I did attend one in the St. John's West area as well. Sat in, went around to the tables, as did the minister and so on. It was all good stuff. I applauded it at the time. I still applaud the concept. I absolutely do. Nothing wrong with it. It's the right thing to do. But the problem is that if you listen to what the people were telling you, sure, there was somebody who said, you know what, we might have to raise gas tax. That's a way we can raise revenue. Guaranteed someone said that. I know people said that. Someone said we might have to raise income tax. That was said. Somebody said, you know what, maybe we need to, that HST increase that, you promised that you weren't going to do because it was a job killer and so on. Maybe you're going to have to go back on that and increase the HST. That was said. I'm not denying that. That was absolutely said by people. But I can guarantee you that there was nobody, that I heard at least, who stood up and said, let's raise the HST. While we're at it, let's raise gas by 16.5 cents and tax that. Let's tax insurance companies, raise that, and then after we tax the insurance companies, then we're going to put 15% on the tax that you're going to pay on your insurance. Let's introduce a levy. Let's up the income tax, and let's up every fee that exists, and let's create a whole bunch of new fees. Now, nobody, I challenge anybody on the other side to get up and point out where somebody said to do all these things and do them all at once. I can guarantee it didn't happen. It did not happen. So to suggest that we're only doing what the people told us, I think it's disingenuous to say that. It really is. Yes, someone said do this, someone said that, but nobody said do all of it. Do all of it at one time. And again, that is the problem. And we know that we're in a tough financial situation as a province. But there's no point, I've said it before and people have said it, there's no point in saving the province from financial ruin while at the same time you're going to place its residents in financial ruin. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. And that's all people are saying. And I will say again, it is still not too late. It is still not too late. We had the budget vote, so what? You're the government. Come in tomorrow, or well, maybe not tomorrow because we'll probably still be here, but the next sitting once this bill is decided, come in with a few amendments. That's all anybody is saying, just to be reasonable. And it doesn't have to be an us and them. This doesn't have to be an us and them thing. Like I know tonight on the e-cigarettes is like, and Bill 1's like you make suggestions, whatever, and it's almost like, well, no, we can't make any changes. Can't make any changes because we want to be seen as giving in or whatever. We can't do that. So we're going to just push it on through as is. That's what we're going to do. We're going to push it on through as is. And it seems like we're doing the same thing with the budget. And I don't understand why. And it's not me. I'm not the one saying this. It's what the people are saying. That's what the people are saying. That's what they're saying. That's absolutely what they're saying. And the Minister of Municipal Affairs, he's got an awful lot to say. He really does. Yes, he absolutely does, and he can go ahead and say it. But I'm not going to be bullied by anybody. I can tell you that. I'm not going to be bullied or intimidated. Now, that might be the modus operandi over there, but it's not working on this guy, I can tell you that. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Yes, I did vote for Bill. I say to the Minister, I did vote for Bill 29.
Order, please.
I did vote for Bill 29, and I stood up in this House after the fact. Well, I tried to get it changed, and then we know what happened. And I stood up in this House when we had the new bill, and I admitted that I voted for Bill 29. This was one of the biggest mistakes I made. And when I cut the puppet strings, I said, never again will I just go along with the crowd for the sake of going along with the crowd and total line. I will do what I think is the right thing to do. And voting for this budget in its current form is not the right thing to do. And I'm not supporting it. And neither are the people of Newfoundland and Labrador. Now that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So I would say, Madam Chair, there are many things in this budget that need to be discussed. Many things. And that could be, as it relates to this bill here, the levy, which we'll be talking about, the gas tax, the HST, the education cuts that were totally unnecessary, and all of these things we can talk about, and we will talk about as the night goes through. And I intend on standing up as many times as I need to get the message across. It's not personal. It's not personal with me. No, it's not. I have nothing to gain by this.
Order, please. I remind the honourable member his time for speaking have expired.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable the Minister of Advanced Education and Skill.
Thank you very much.